One sunny day, in the heart of the forest, Chimpanzee swung from branch to branch, boasting loudly to anyone who would listen. "I should be king over all the animals," he declared, puffing out his chest. "After all, I look the most like humans, and everyone knows humans are the wisest of all creatures." Torty, the clever tortoise, was sitting nearby, munching on some leaves when he heard Chimpanzee's claim. He shook his head and sighed. "Chimpanzee, you may look like humans, but that doesn't mean you should be king. Lion is strong, powerful, and feared by all. You are no match for him," Torty warned. But Chimpanzee wasn't convinced. He swung down from the trees, landing right in front of Torty. "Yes, Lion is strong," Chimpanzee said, his eyes gleaming with determination. "But humans rule over all animals with their clever minds. Since I resemble them, I should be king." Torty felt a knot of worry form in his stomach. The thought of Chimpanzee, or any animal that looked like a human, ruling the forest made him uneasy. He feared that his own reputation as the cleverest animal would be threatened if Chimpanzee ever became king. He needed to act fast to keep Chimpanzee in his place. Torty returned home and began to hatch a plan. He mixed up a batch of delicious buns, sweetening them with honey until they were irresistible. Once the buns were ready, Torty placed them in a basket and carried them to Lion's den. Quietly, he placed the basket just outside Lion's door, then quickly hid behind a nearby tree. Soon enough, the sweet aroma of the buns filled the air. Lion, who had been resting, sniffed the air, and his mouth began to water. He lumbered out of his den, following the scent until he found the basket of buns waiting for him. "What's this?" Lion muttered to himself as he peered into the basket. He picked up one of the buns and popped it into his mouth. It was the sweetest thing he had ever tasted. Without thinking, Lion devoured another, then another, until every single one was gone. But as the sweetness faded from his tongue, Lion's curiosity turned to anger. "Who dares to leave this here without telling me?" he roared, his voice echoing through the forest. Lion's sharp eyes soon spotted Torty peeking out from behind a tree. With a snarl, Lion grabbed the tortoise by the shell and dragged him into the open. "Did you bring those buns to my door?" Lion growled, his eyes blazing with fury. Yes, Your Majesty," Torty stammered, trembling in Lion's powerful grip. "But I was sworn to secrecy." "Secrecy?" Lion roared. "I am the king. There are no secrets from me. Now tell me where those sweet buns came from, or you'll regret it." Torty, struggling to hide a sly grin, spoke in a low voice. "Those weren't just ordinary buns, Your Majesty. They were Chimpanzees. Special poop. He keeps them a secret, but I managed to get some just for you." Lion's eyes narrowed. "Chimpanzee's poop, you say? I'll deal with him myself." With a growl, Lion stormed through the forest until he reached Chimpanzee's home. He found Chimpanzee lounging in a tree, completely unaware of the trouble heading his way. Without warning, Lion reached up and grabbed Chimpanzee by the neck, dragging him down to the ground. "Give me your sweet doo-doo now," Lion demanded, his voice rumbling like thunder. Chimpanzee, terrified and confused, couldn't believe what he was hearing. My doo-doo, but they're not sweet," he stammered, his whole body shaking with fear. "Don't lie to me," Lion roared, his patience wearing thin. "Do it now, or I'll make you regret it." Frightened out of his wits, Chimpanzee did as he was told, but when Lion tasted what Chimpanzee had produced, he spat it out. "This is disgusting," Lion bellowed, his anger boiling over. "Of course it is," Chimpanzee cried, his eyes wide with terror. "Poop is always disgusting." But Lion wasn't satisfied. He kicked Chimpanzee hard, sending him tumbling across the ground. "Give me the sweet poop, the ones like the buns," he demanded. Poor Chimpanzee, bruised and scared, tried again, but of course the result was the same. Lion tasted it, roared in fury, and kicked Chimpanzee even harder. The once proud Chimpanzee was now quivering and blubbering, his bottom swollen and red from Lion's relentless kicks. "Enough!" Lion finally shouted. "You're a useless creature! How dare you think you could be king? I should tear you apart right now!" From that day on, Chimpanzee never again dared to challenge lions as king. The other animals, hearing what had happened, whispered among themselves and laughed quietly at Chimpanzee's foolishness. And as for Torty, he returned to his home, pleased that his clever trick had kept Chimpanzee in his place and ensured that Lion remained the king of the animals.